Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I am alone today. It's just one of those situations. Unfortunately, my lovely cousin will not be able to make today because of work, in duty calls. Honestly, this was supposed to get shot over the weekend, and because of conflicting schedules, we were just not able to get into the same room together. So, yeah, I just thought to keep the channel going, considering, we are being run by someone else. I shoot this by myself, and it's going to be a solo one today. So yeah, bear with me, bear with me. We've actually got a lot to speak about since the last video. I mean, that last video wasn't a lot of speaking, just a whole lot of, because we were dying eating freaking noodles. So yeah, I have notes. I have notes. I am prepared. Well, I don't really have notes. I just literally have pointers. So yeah, before we get into the meat and two veg of the video, obviously PSA, my social media, well, all my social medias will be in the link of the description. Altaf's social medias would be in the description as well. If you want to use the studio for podcasting, recording, rehearsing, if you need us to do live sound, I will put the Instagram to the studios, the Instagram account of the studio in the description as well. Just shoot a DM and you'd be able to get hold of us and we'd be able to help you out. I'm sure we could work something out. Okay, so firstly, one of the one of the most interesting turnarounds that I've been wanting to speak about for a while now, and it's a pity my cousin ain't here to elaborate and give his 2 cents on the matter. But I'm gonna speak about Sneako versus the Red Bull. There was a lot. Okay, a lot has happened. I'm not. Look, Sneako is a character I don't really pay much attention to. Anyways, he's look. I've always seen him as just a date bot. I mean, it's funny because he calls everybody else bots. Everybody who disagrees with him or disagreed with him, I don't know what his stance is, but he used to call everybody bots when he was the biggest date bot on the planet. I started to dress like him, started doing the freaking hand signal that my cousin does. He was basically Tate. And the funny thing was, I remember finding him and Andrew Tate around the same time on TikTok, like everybody else does. And he was. I remember him not being. I remember him being like anti Tate almost, you know? So, and then obviously he watched another video, and he watched a video of Andrew speaking, and he shouted, "This guy doesn't miss!" And so that must have been the turning point for him. Or I don't know if that was way into his uh, revert or conversion of his stance on Andrew Tate. Um, but yeah, ever since then he's been, not just uh, an Andrew Tate bot or a Tristan Tate bot. He's become very vocal about his stance on the Red Bull. He was, I mean, it's funny because a lot of these guys, like you see DJ academics do the same thing, and the other guy who tells people that it's chill to that it's chill for women to be in abusive relationships, that you must just endure it. We'll get onto that podcast, that mess. Well, not really, but we'll see how where this goes. But it's a lot of these guys. They don't like to say that they don't coin themselves a part of the Red Bull, or they cringe when you call them alpha males. Like, we've never ever called ourselves alpha males. That's fine, and they don't like to necessarily be labeled as Red Bull. But Sneako was very vocal. Like he was out about him being Red Bull. There's a video where he says, when he says Red Bull, he's talking about the truth, the Matrix, and all that jazz. Um, it's it's nice to see the guy turn around. So the timeline, from my understanding, is he did the video with. Oh, I mean, he called out critical penguins, penguin zero, penguin zero, whatever. He called out Moist Critical, and yeah, he got completely flat bodied, just destroyed. It was. Very funny to see. I mean, look, I'm not a Sneako fan. I'm not a Sneako hater. It was just very funny to see because, like, there were certain times where he was insufferable. I mean, the biggest and the best example I can go to is the debate between him and Abba from Abba and Preach. That crap was insufferable. It was hard to listen to. When Abba was trying to speak to him about this certain things become more important in life than what is important to you right now, and he keeps on trying to denounce about, oh yeah, your testosterone. Yeah, and it's very funny to see what he's preaching right now. But coming back to my point, he gets bodied by Moist Critical. The Meat Canyon video comes out, and the way it seems, because straight after the Meat Canyon video comes out, which was brilliantly done, by the way, the Meat Canyon video comes out, and he ends up having a conversation with Critical online. It was an hour-long video. I think it was much longer because there were segments that was cut out, or I don't know if it was cut out, but Critical cut back to himself and says, "Oh, here we speak about, for example, the cutie situation, or so on and so forth." And that was kind of a turning point. It was the beginning of it, and then then you start to hear he converts to Islam and he becomes a Muslim, which obviously, congrats. And initially, when I saw that, I thought, okay, look, this could just be a Tate thing. Where it's like, yeah, he's converted, but there is not really much change in his lifestyle. Which I look, okay. Firstly, I know I'm not one to speak about this when it comes to religion and the certain the life that I'm living and the paths that I'm choosing to walk on. So I was never ever, I would never ever judge Tate for the way he lives, because it's a process. I mean, to switch from the lifestyle that he had to the lifestyle that he wants to live, if he's serious about being Muslim, it's a drastic change. And I mean, you know what? I've look, my extremes were never ever as bad as his. If you're looking on the other side of the spectrum, like the non-Muslim side of the spectrum, uh my side to that was never that bad, was never that extreme, right? But I did do a hard switch a couple of years ago, like when I was like 17 or 18, 16 actually. I did a huge switch, and a lot of my friends, I mean, look, I don't know if I've said this, but I've spent 10 years of my life in religious studies. I went there, well, not almost 10 years, like 8 years. I went there at the age of 10 and I graduated at the age of 18. I basically became a young adult in that place, right? And a lot of my friends at the time, who are way more religious than I am, a lot of those guys were telling me, look, dude, calm down. You're going to burn out. I didn't listen. I was stubborn. I didn't listen. I said, no, you don't know. No. And lo and behold, what happened? I burnt out. And my friends couldn't wait to tell me, I told you so, and I deserved it. I was young, I was ignorant, I didn't know what was going on. So coming back to Tate and then to Sneako, coming back to Tate, I don't think anybody should judge him for if it's 3, 4, 5 years down the line and he's still the same guy that he was before he converted, then you can maybe start asking questions. But at the same time, I think everybody's religion belongs to themselves and their creator. So I'm not going to really be judging him off of certain decisions that he's making and certain paths that he wants to live. I mean, look, yes, he still does make money off of casinos, and he still does run a webcam business. I mean, that is something that certain people are going to criticize, and if you want to, that's fine. Look, it's been one of his main sources of income. I'm not too sure, but look, the webcam thing is one of the main things that got him rich, right? So, yeah, look, I think even for some Muslims, right, it is a process. If you want to, walk onto the straighter path, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. So, That's fine and all that. But coming back to Brother Sneako over here, Sneako seemed to have taken to it a lot quicker than Andrew Tate. And that's great. He seemed to have taken a lot quicker to it, and I mean, he speaks openly about, yeah, he's tried the Juma, he's gone to mosque on Fridays, and he's like that. He seems very passionate about the Quran, and that's a good thing. Um, and look, I don't know who his mentors are now. Judging by the way he speaks, it's probably freaking Ben Shapiro or any other religious conservative leaders out, maybe Noman Khan or Mufti Mink or one of these guys. Because the things that he's preaching now is different. I mean, look, there is the debate between him. There was the debate between him and the two Fresh and Fit guys about Rolo Tomasi's tweet about getting a vasectomy and all those things, and he asked him hard hitting questions. I mean, look, I'm old to the, like, I'm the last person at the party, but it's still something I wanted to address, or something that I wanted to speak about on the show. But he asked him a whole lot of hard hitting questions. I mean, look, a lot of questions that even made me stop and think, like, you have a point. I mean, look, at the end of the day, a lot of these Red Pill podcasts and a lot of these high value men, they get caught out on a lot of things that they say all the time. There was even a clip of academics who spoke to Walter from Fresh and Fit with when he ended up when he got the when he started seeing that woman, and the argument was that she hasn't been tainted. She's not into the money and all that stuff. I mean, look, if you watch the Ab and Preach video, you see the receipts. Like, you can make up your mind. But then academics called him out, and academics said, okay, so based off of let's say what you're saying is true, she doesn't care about your money, then whatever you've been preaching this whole time has been false, because then she doesn't give a crap about the high value male. So then why are you telling your audience, why are you telling your young audience that that's the path to getting a fulfilling relationship or whatever? They get called out, or they can get called out on a lot of crap that they say all the time. So while, yes, it's not that impressive what Sneako did, it is at the same time, because, I mean, this was the guys that he looked up to. Like, a couple of months ago, he really idolized Fresh and Fit as well. Like, this all started because freaking Charlie called Walter out on that video about the NBA play and the three women and all those things, and he came to their aid. Well, he came to his aid, So to see him turn around and ask the hard-hitting questions, it was a cool thing to see, honestly, because look, whether you are red pill or blue pill, I mean, even if you take this into like political game, if you're a right wing, a left wing, you should be asking questions. You should be questioning everything. That's how we get a better understanding of certain things. And when your role models can't answer you, then that's when you start, okay, maybe I need to reevaluate my situation. Maybe I've been idolizing the wrong people. But if there's an explanation, then what you have achieved is a better understanding of whatever you're following. So, for an example, like my teacher always used to tell us to ask questions. I mean, he always used to say, "Stupid people don't ask questions. Smart people ask questions." And I mean, we were in that school. We were raised to constantly question a lot of stuff, and through that and because my teacher was able to answer a lot of those questions, we've gained a better understanding, and that's why we are so tied to not only the religion, but we are so tied to the school, and we're so tied to each other, and we're so tied to our teacher, because we had that type of relationship with him. So yeah, props to Sneako for asking the hard-hitting questions, for calling them out. The second, well, the next time that, well, the next part, I don't know if it was exactly the part right after, but one of the other podcasts is honestly, it's the most pro wrestling thing that you're gonna find. It's John Cena and Randy Orton taking on the entire Raw roster. It's it's freaking, Austin Powers and Doctor Evil joining forces at the end of Goldmember to take down Goldmember. It is Destiny. Oh, I'm a fan of. I shout out to Destiny. It's Destiny and freaking Sneako taking on Rolo Tomasi and Fresh and Fit. Honestly, it was must see TV. It was beautiful. Um, and again, Sneako came at them. He gave it to them. I think that's what you need. Look, I was I was very in favor with Amazing Lucas calling out a lot of stuff that he disagreed with on the right. I ate that crap up, because like at the same time, I mean, look with those guys. I'm slightly just going to divert here for a second. With those guys, look, we're not in 2016 anymore, and you're still speaking about the wage gap debate. You're still speaking about the pro-choice, pro-life debate. I know these are important topics, but when certain things happen in the world, and you can't put your politics aside to say, "Hold up," then something is wrong. Because I mean, look, I was a staunch right wing. Well, not staunch, but I mean those guys those guys, the Ben Shapiro's, even the Steven Crowders. I enjoy their content. I used to watch this stuff a lot. I used to watch this stuff all the time. I thought, and at the time, I mean, granted, I was 18, turning 19, right? And I mean, I'm still an idiot right now. You could only imagine a couple of years ago, right? I was even worse back then. But I thought Candace Owens was extremely smart. I used to like watching Brandon Tatum's videos, and I used to like watching Amazing Lucas videos. I still watch Amazing Lucas. He's one of my favorite content creators on the platform. Um, and when the George Floyd stuff happened, look, anybody can watch that video, and again, look, okay, there's I want to I want to draw parallels because at the beginning of the year, we all got the news that Kobe Bryant has passed away, and everybody stopped. Everybody stopped what they're doing or what they were doing, and they all, paid their respects to Kobe Bryant. Not only Kobe Bryant and his daughter, who unfortunately died in the helicopter accident as well. And I remember Ben Shapiro saying, "Listen, now is not the time to speak about the politics that Kobe Bryant potentially may or may not have had that could have disagreed or agreed with Ben Shapiro." He said, "Now's not the time for that." I saw that and I thought, you know what? Respect. Props to you. Fast forward a couple of months later, I mean, we see a horrific video. I mean, just one of the worst things that you can see online. And I mean, you have people who is making fun of the situation. You have people that is trying to justify, certain actions. I don't think that officer went there to go and kill someone, right? That I don't think he wanted. I don't think his intention was to kill someone. They had freaking, your Candace Owens and your Brandon Tatum said, "You shouldn't feel for him. You don't know who he is." Like, no, that's not who we are. We freaking cry for, characters on a TV show or in a game that we don't know, right? I mean, like, for anybody who's played the God of War game, I'm sure you felt some type of emotion when you had Atreus sending his mother off. At that point, we didn't know who the mother was, and we still felt something. This is a man shouting, "I can't breathe." Not only that, this is a freaking there's a wife and a daughter or potentially a son that is about to lose a parent, and you have some of these guys who are trying to justify or trying to downplay an extremely terrible situation. That was one of the moments where everybody should have stood up, got together, and say, "You know what?" And and if that had to happen, and if everybody had to look at it from an objective standpoint, there would have been more common ground, and we probably would have gone out of the pandemic probably a better society, right? Um, but okay, let's move on to the next topic. Okay. The next one is, but I mean, look, we just went into deep territory. Oh, I would like to say I've seen someone online speaking about Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon having starting a show together. I don't think that will happen. I think it would be good if it happens. I think because look, you have despite the way you feel about either of them, you have people that absolutely love Tucker and absolutely hate him, and vice versa. And the same goes to Don Lemon, right? What could it look? You just know that first couple of weeks of TV is going to be the funniest crap you're going to see. It's going to be the two of them insulting each other, going back and forth. But as they're going to keep on meeting up, and as they are going to be reading the same stories together, you know what might happen? They might find common ground. And at some point, at some point, they might even start forming a relationship. And if people can see, wait, this right wing guy and this left wing guy can, they can reach common ground on certain opinions or on certain events, then maybe we can as well. I, I'm 110% for it. I think we need to stop having. Look, the thing is, in 2016, and this is where we're going to segue into the next topic. In 2016, it was fun to trigger certain people, right? I understand that, but we are all grown up now, right? We can't still be doing the same shtick, right? And to our next topic, I mean, yeah, that's fine. We've got 20 minutes on that. So on to our next topic. I want to speak about Idubbz. Right. Um look, okay. Firstly, I just want to say this. Obviously, I'm a fan of Idubbz. Sorry, I had to hear that. I'm a big fan of Idubbz. I enjoyed the content back in the day. And I like what he's doing now. But can we just okay, firstly, I the whole notion and the whole idea that he's not a man. I mean, look, this guy has went out on a limb. He's defended his girlfriend when she has, come out with the OnlyFans thing. He has openly come out, went against his fans to defend his wife. Yeah, it's his wife now. Defended his wife, right? He has he has held himself accountable for the mistakes that he has made in his past, and he is now he's trying to learn. He's bettering himself, and he's predominantly going out there and boxing on YouTube, and then taking the money and raising it for charity. I don't understand what is the hate. I don't understand why people are hating on this man so much. Look, okay, it's like this. If you were still doing that same style of content in 2023, you guys would all be saying, this is embarrassing. Right? Let's be honest. We would all still be saying, he's still calling his fans the N word and F words. Is he still doing that? He's still calling people, he's still saying the N word, he's still saying a whole bunch of racial slurs. We a lot of people would question the amount of growth and the amount of change that he has had. Look, the thing is, I'm sure once upon a time, and even for me, Steven Crowder was funny to watch. I remember, look, the video where Steven Crowder goes to like he what's the name? It's Cenk's press conference. I remember watching that a couple of years ago and finding that crap funny, right? But you put on Loud with Crowder now, and you see that nothing has changed. He's still the same dumbass that he was in 2016, and it's just like people get tired of it. People get bored of it, right? Here you have somebody that that wants to change, that wants to better himself, that wants to, not only that. I mean, he's a lot of us. Look, when Logan Paul got onto the boxing scene, and Jake Paul got into the boxing scene, a lot of the initial hate that they had faded away. look, this guy's doing the same thing. And I mean, look, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are making a whole bunch of money back from it, and that's fine. But Creator Clash is, the money goes to charities. I just think we need to. Look, okay, Idubbz is a big boy, obviously, but I just don't understand all the hate that he's getting. I can look like all I would say is if you there's people that are criticizing his apology video. To that people, I can see where they're coming from. Was it some black guy did a good response on that video, in my opinion, and and then Voice Critical did his video on that as well, and then D'Angelo did a video on that. Check all of those out. But if you are still wanting to see that Idubbz that is, that is doing what he's doing, then you a problem. I'm sorry to say that, but you part of the problem. I do understand why you would want to get away from that content, even if he wasn't coming from a place of malice or racism or whatever. I can understand why he wants to get away from that because it is a gateway for certain. It's the whole reason why we cancelled cuties, is because yes, maybe the message of the movie is probably in the right place, but you are actually using children. Therefore, that is content for certain dirty people to go and enjoy. And I think with Idubbz, it's the same thing. It's content for certain dirty people to go and enjoy, and it justifies a whole bunch of bad actions. But and he has come out on the other side. He has done a whole bunch of growth. And if I remember correctly, a lot of people are blaming what's her name, his wife Anissa. I'll fact check this and I'll put it up if I'm wrong, alright. But didn't she play a big part in that Tana Mojo video? Where he goes up to a young girl and he says, "Say N-word," right? Didn't she play a big part in that video? So yeah, she was with him when he was the cool edgy Idubbz that everybody seems to miss, and she's with him now when he's grown up and he's matured and he's honestly, look, I think that's a good thing, because again, if Idubbz can acknowledge that, if Idubbz can hold himself accountable for certain crappy things that he's said, right? Then so can we. We can all get better. We can all, I mean, I remember a couple of months ago I did a podcast where I said, not on the scale, right? Not on the scale at all, but I remember doing a podcast with my cousin and speaking about the Ariana Grande video that I did on my channel, and saying how at the time I thought I was doing the right thing. I watch that crap now, and that's not what I want to be doing that's not what I want to be doing on this channel or on that channel. I don't want to be spreading so much. Look, does it mean that I've turned my back on my opinions? Do I like the song? No, I don't like the song. But what is the point of spreading that amount of negativity and that amount of hate on something that I'm never gonna listen to again? I listened to that song twice, before and after. Well, before the video and during filming the video reaction. I was never gonna listen to it again. What is the point, right? The thing is, you have a better perception, or you have a better perspective. You have a better perspective on life when you, and I've always said this, when you are out there doing things. Even going back to our first segment, even Sneako said when he, because the whole argument between him and Raul Tomasi was, or him and Fresh and Fit, was what a high value male is. He said when he went out there and he started traveling and he started, living his life, and he didn't spend so much time in his room, he has realized that women's definition of a high value male is more in line with what he thinks a high value male is, right? And look, there was certain I mean, if I'm gonna turn this to me for a second, there were certain things that were happening in the in the country of South Africa in 2019, and you know, I was too the edgy teenager who didn't give a crap, right? I mean, look, in that year, I'm sure I've told you the story, but in that year, I went to, I started working in the city, started working in the city, and this, the things that I saw made me realize, holy crap, I've been sheltered from this crap a long time ago, and it was easy for me to sit behind like in my room, in my bed, behind my phone, typing out all this freaking crap without actually going out there and seeing what's really happening. And when I saw what was really happening, my whole perspective on a lot of things changed, and I've dialed a lot of that crap back, right? And look, I'm not gonna say this is exactly what happened with items, but I think that could have played a part. I mean, look, yeah, you become less aware of what everybody else is doing when you are focused on yourself and you are, you know, trying to better yourself in whatever way, right? Bettering yourself doesn't always necessarily mean going to the gym. You know, you could better yourself in a mental state, like from a mental state as well, and you know, doing whatever makes you feel happy. That's bettering yourself as well, I would imagine. Like, I spend about 5 hours on my guitar not every day, but when I practice, I spend about 5 hours on my guitar, and you know, that makes me happy, right? So I don't, I and and when I'm in that state, I don't really care about, you know, all the other crap that goes on in our lives, or in my, well, not in my life, but in the people, in everybody, in everyone else's lives around me. I don't care, right? So I think Idubbz is teaching us a very valuable lesson that when you go out there and you better yourself, you know, you can then look at yourself from a couple of years ago and say, you know what, that was wrong. That's not something that I agree with. And and you know what? Props to him for going out there and actually apologizing. That story about the trans, I don't know if it was a trans person, but I think it was that I went up to him and said, "Listen, I know you don't like trans people, but can we take a photo?" Yeah, that could, that could. I could see why why he has made the, why he has felt the need to address it. Because I mean, if you look at not Filthy Frank, Joji hasn't really come out and try to divert himself from who he once was, right? But Idubbz did. I think that's very cool. Such a cool thing of him to do, and I think, yeah, like I'm going around in circles, but I think that's gonna teach us all a valuable lesson, and I think we could all definitely 110% learn from it. Okay, now that all that stuff is out of the way, I want to speak about the Premier League. We have now finished up. And again, oh, it is a shame my cousin isn't here because, yeah, bottle. Um, okay, so firstly, there's a couple of things. I am so heartbroken for Arsenal that Arsenal couldn't do it. I'm so sad that, because you know what, as much as I dislike Arsenal, and I've said this before, again, Arsenal's not our rivals. Man City is. As a United fan, Man City's our rivals. And I'm sure as a Liverpool fan, you know, you're looking at the last couple of years, Man City's their rivals as well. Right? I mean, I could imagine, you know, I can feel, some type of empathy towards Liverpool fans, especially on the last game of the season. Sorry. Especially on the last game of the season, you know. Liverpool did everything right, but City, you know, sorry, with City being the way that City is, it's like, and you know what? Klopp probably would have had a lot more trophies if it wasn't for Man City. I mean, I know that's hypothetical, and we don't really do that, but let's be honest. You know, Jurgen Klopp has been great for Liverpool. Salah has been great for Liverpool, and the thing is, Salah I think Salah's gonna get his flowers from a lot of football fans, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think. I think Salah probably would be forgotten, and I don't think he deserves that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you look at who Salah was when he came in from Roma, and you look at the player he is now. He is arguably a Premier League goat. But because, I mean, not like, I mean, Ronaldo had 3 Premier Leagues to show for that, right? He won a Ballon d'Or, but he had 3 Premier Leagues to show for that. Salah only has one. Okay, he's won everything there is to win in England. He's won Premier League, he's won FA Cup, and he's won a Carabao Cup, and he's won a Champions League. Not in the same year, but he has all those things on his name. But Man City is too unstoppable at the moment. And that's why my heart goes out to Arsenal, because Arsenal has had game after game this season where you looked at them and you said, you know what? These guys are performing like champions. These guys are going to do it. They're going to go the distance. They were 12 points above Man City. And I mean, look, it's unrealistic for a team to go on a speed run like that. It is unrealistic. I don't know. Like, even when I was looking at United's season, I kept on saying, and this was during the watch. This was during I watched the Liverpool game at Anfield, the 7-0 game. I watched that with a bunch of people, and I said, the reason why I think we're gonna lose this game is because we can't keep this crap up all the time. We can't keep on doing this all the time. There are certain players that are playing every game, 3 games a week. There is no ways we are going to be able to have that type of season. I mean, yes, okay, we had the 2 losses in the beginning of the season, and then we got battered by Man City, like very close to that. But then from that time to, straight through, we've had result after result after result. We've won and drew and won and drew and won and drew. I said, at some point it's gonna bite us. It's gonna get us. Just like Arsenal. And look, we can all sit here and laugh and say, yeah, but they lost to Brighton, they drew against Liverpool. I think there was other, like, towards this last guy, and they lost to Man City as well. But at some point, look, nobody has the squad depth that Man City does have. Nobody can say, oh, Haaland's out, fine, Alvarez just slot in. Nobody can say that. Well, yeah, not a lot of teams can do that. Yes, Arsenal maybe performed better without Jesus, but Jesus was gone for a large chunk of that season. It is a shame. It's really, really, really a shame. I think the noise that Arsenal fans would have made if they had won the league probably would have been something unbearable. Probably would have been worse than a freaking, I don't know. But I don't want to use this word, but we're going to speak about Liverpool and United now. But they deserved it, man. They deserved it. They deserved the league. But look, at the end of the day, you judge the season at the end, after the 38th game, and yeah, when it came to the big games, for them not to go and mess up, they messed up. All I'm saying is, yeah, they were unstoppable for a huge chunk of the season, and I knew it was gonna bite them in the ass at some point. I knew that was coming, so it's very unfortunate. I want to speak about Liverpool now for a split second, because, I want to speak about Liverpool and I want to speak about United. Firstly, big up my boys. Look, we don't celebrate third place. We don't do that. But it's a step in the right direction. Look, we can sit here and we can speak about, yes. Like, I remember when Bruno came in, everybody was like, yeah, early bought Bruno in January, and it completely flipped this season around and they got third, right? Who did we bring in this time around? Look, by the time we were nearing towards the end of the season, Sabitzer was gone. Vegas is basically like signing no one, right? Ten Hag has done an absolute madness. He has done an absolute madness. My biggest fear is that if he goes into next season with not the investment that he needs, we are all going to be screaming Ten Hag out at the end of the season. I mean, look, there were games where he has gotten it poorly wrong, right? Definitely 100%, but no manager's always going to get it right. How many times have we bottled it in the Champions League with Man City where it looks like now he's actually going to win it? And even then, I wouldn't be surprised if he bottles it too. Even then, it's not likely, but if he loses the Champions League final, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Anyways, coming back to United, look, Ten Hag has made a couple of bad choices throughout the season, 100%, right? Then there's also the 7-0 game, which I genuinely think my players dropped their heads. There's certain Liverpool fans that don't necessarily want to hear that because they want to live in their own echo chamber. No, we were clinical. Bournemouth came next, okay, and couldn't do the job. Bournemouth came next. Salah got a penalty and didn't do the job. Ended up losing that game or drawing it. No, they lost it. I'll put the scoreline here if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they lost it. Went to Bernabeu and completely the season just derailed. That was one result, right? Flip, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I just want to take this small section to big up United because despite what you want to say, they deserved the third position. Definitely 100%. We are 8 points above Liverpool. We are 4 points above Newcastle. We 110% deserved the spot. You are looking at a team. Okay, you are looking at a team that had the most clean sheets. Well, you're looking at a goalie that had the most clean sheets, right? We have conceded 9 goals at home this season in all comps, I believe. Right? We have won every team that there is to win. Well, all the teams that matter. For an example, we won Chelsea. Look, Chelsea's not. I'm not even going to speak about Chelsea this season. I'm not even going to speak about Tottenham. But we won those two teams. We won Liverpool. We won City. We won Arsenal. We won Barcelona. Barcelona is my game. I absolutely love that game. The Barcelona game and the Tottenham game, the first one. Brilliant games to watch. My team looked so amazing, right? Now I want to bring up Liverpool now, just for a change of scenery. I want to bring up Liverpool. Okay, I watched the video of Lawrence McKenna's channel where he spoke about these predicted lineups. I absolutely love Lawrence McKenna. He's great. Shout out to Lawrence McKenna. Lawrence, he spoke about, did United deserve top 4? Well, he says, well, with all the teams that has dropped out of it, at the end of the day, we still won the games that we won. You don't mention all the things that I mentioned and don't get top 4. Maybe finish 4th, maybe, but you don't get you absolutely get top 4. And with the season, with the group of players that he had, this is the same donuts that were freaking losing left, right, and center to Watford, to Liverpool, to Man City last season. It was atrocious football that we were seeing last season. These are the same players, right? For Ten Hag to come in, make a couple of changes. Casemiro, which is signing of the season. I don't care what anybody says. Haaland. But after Haaland, it's Casemiro signing of the season. Brought in Anthony, brought in Martinez, and brought in Malacia, who doesn't play first team football anyways, right? And brought in Eriksen. He has made a couple of changes. Eriksen, there were times when we had to play without Eriksen as well. And all of a sudden you look at Marcus Rashford's transformation this season. And I'm not speaking about goals. Yes, there was a period where he was scoring goals every game. And that was absolutely lovely. We absolutely enjoyed it. It was amazing. You know the drill. But I've been complimenting Rashford since that Liverpool game because the way he's playing a lot better. Even when he was playing more predominantly on the left, he's a left. They play him on the left wing, but there's been certain times we play him up front. But in the beginning, in the earlier games of the season, when he played on the left, he started to even move a bit better and not just run into defense like he has done under Oli when we finished second. So his movement is better, right? Bruno Fernandes, honestly, one of the best center attacking midfielders in the league as well. De Bruyne, Odegaard, Bruno, that's honestly is insane. Um, look, okay, we all. Martial has been hit and miss this season. Um, Sancho has had a couple of moments this season. I think definitely in the last two games with him on the right, probably the way to go. Um, I just think United as a whole has been in general, Oh wow, I just think United in general has been really good this season. They've provided me with a lot of fun memories. A lot. I mean, I don't want to speak about the elephant in the room when it comes to United and the season and the way the season started out, but even the way they dealt with that situation, even the way Ten Hag dealt with that situation, chef's kiss, honestly. Back Ten Hag, give Ten Hag what he wants, he would lift up a Premier League. 100%. He would lift up a Premier League. Give Ten Hag the players that he needs. Give Ten Hag the players that he needs. Give Ten Hag the resources. He will lift up a Premier League trophy with United. There is the mentality that he's instilled in the team is insane. It's unheard of. That is why I think that he deserved top four. I'm sorry I went off on United rant. I never get to. I mean, we speak about football a lot every week, but I never get to really, express myself in that way. I know it's maybe not the most articulate, but hey, that's me. Anyways, coming back to Liverpool, I think Lawrence McKenna asked the question: Did they deserve to not get top four with the run of games that they had? Yes, because I remember, and if you can go and my Instagram is in the description. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and it was right after the 7-0 game. It was right after that. That was the whole reason why we did it. And I remember telling him the result hurted. It hurted in the moment, but what I'm more worried about is what does that do for the rest of our season. And look, at that point, I think Liverpool was on a decent run because I remember them beating Newcastle, and they beat someone else as well, and then they came to us. We went to Anfield, and I said, this is probably the game that they win. But definitely the game that they win. Even Graham Souness, for all the crap that he gets wrong, he was spot on that night. That was going to be the game that they won. And I told my friend, I just want to know, what does this do for United for the rest of the season? And what does this do to Liverpool for the rest of the season? If Liverpool goes on a clinical run from now till the end of the season, then, well, crap. And if United season starts derailing, well, then oh crap. Then this result means a lot more to me than it initially would have just. But look, that was an opportunity for Liverpool to say, okay, there's still a chance. We can go and get this. And they didn't. Yes, the run of games did come. The run of games, was it 9 games? It was too late at that point. I mean, yes, Newcastle had some losses and United had some losses. We lost to Brighton. We lost to West Ham. Right? Okay, those losses came. But I mean, okay, Brighton, we can definitely lose. Nobody expected us to lose to Newcastle. If you guys were to get into top 4, it's because we would have bottled it. And then you can still ask yourself, then did you deserve that? Because I remember a lot of Liverpool fans throwing that in my face when we got to third and were like, Leicester just didn't want it, or Chelsea didn't want it, or this. No, that's not how it works. Okay, yes, there's always teams that stagger, and there's always teams that, go through something it's up to the other team to go and take their chances. Does Liverpool deserve to be in top 4 with the way they performed overall this season? No, they don't. even if they did get top four, they didn't deserve that spot at all. Absolutely not. There are certain players that looked very good this season. I thought Diaz, from the times that we got to see Diaz, very good. I thought Salah, despite having an off season, still scored 19 goals. Again, Premier League GOAT. I think, look, I like what Darwin Núñez did this season. I do. Look, the misses. You guys can let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But I didn't look. I liked Darwin Núñez this season. I liked Salah this season. I liked Diaz this season. I thought Alisson is probably keeper of the season because, geez, that team was terrible this season, and I think he saved them from a lot bigger embarrassment. So, you know what? They've had moments. They've had moments this season, but if you look at their situation, you look at where they were this time last year. They still had a Champions League final to come for. They've had 2 trophies already. They lost the game on the day, they lost the season on the day, but we go again next season. Compared to what they are now, no, they didn't deserve that spot. I'm sorry. If you look at the way Arsenal performed this season, City, obviously, you look at the way United performed this season, you look at the way Newcastle performed this season, they didn't deserve that spot. I would have been. Look, I'm scared I'm scared at the prospect of Newcastle getting Champions League football because they're never gonna finish out of top 4 now. Now they can get the players who they want. I could see them letting go of Eddie Howe, not sacking him, but just letting him go because they can get a better manager. I'm scared of Newcastle in that spot, but they did deserve it, and I'm very happy for Newcastle United. I thought they were very unlucky in the Carabao Cup final. Thought it looked like they got us at a time where we were genuinely unstoppable. I don't think any team was going to beat us around that time. So that's unfortunate for them, but yeah, Newcastle deserved this spot. I'm sorry to say this. Look, it's not. I don't even think it's that funny that they finished outside top 4. I just like bantering. I like bantering Liverpool fans because it's what they've been doing with me a whole season about Europa League. It's just very funny that they now have to finish Europa League football. But Europa League football, honestly, not that bad. Some of my favorite games was in Europa League. I mean, the Barcelona game. Right then and there, I realized how much I love my club. Right then and there, I was taking Barcelona down. It was honestly that feeling. I mean, look, and this is coming from somebody who experienced the 3-1 defeat in the Champions League final. Where you go back and you watch that game. I don't even think we were that bad. It's just Barcelona was just that damn good. So look, granted, it's different managers and it's different times. They had freaking Messi and David Villa and, But just for us to be able to go at it against the Barcelona side that didn't concede much goals at that time, and to be able to give them a run for their money, it was a time. I feel the way I felt in that game is the way I felt when we played the opening game of the season last year. We beat Leeds 5-1 and everybody, and Bruno's hat-trick and Pogba's freaking forces. Oh my goodness. How I wish to go back to those days. Anyways, so congrats to all the top 4 teams. Third, again. Let's see what happens next. I think, look, if I'm gonna give an early prediction, we don't know what's happening with the sale, and I hope that my uncle pulls through and buys the club, Sheikh Al Jassim. Look, nobody knows what United season is going to look like next season because we haven't gotten anything regarding the sale. But if I were to be a predicting man, I think Liverpool will be back next season. I think Chelsea, things will start to click for Chelsea. I see Tuchel's gone. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. Probably not. Oh wait, Pochettino's in. Sorry, my bad. But who knows? Who knows at this point? Lampard came back, right? I think City's gonna be City. I think Newcastle's gonna be a threat. Arsenal's gonna be up for it 100%. You know, um, so yeah. Look, I don't know where this leaves us next season. What I will say is, with Casemiro, Varane, Martinez, Ten Hag, I feel a lot more feel a lot more confident about what we can do in the Premier League. I feel a lot more confident, and what we could maybe do in the Champions League as well. I Are we gonna go and win it? Probably not. If we go and win it, I'll shave my head. If we win either Premier League or if we win Premier League or Champions League, I'll shave my head next season. I'll shave my head and I would I would grow out the goatee and I'd grow out the 10 beard. I'd do the exact same thing Galbraith said he's going to do because that's never going to happen. But yeah. So like I said, I think Liverpool's probably going to go off to win the Europa League. I mean, it is going to be in Dublin, Ireland, and I think obviously, is a big Liverpool fandom there. So I think that would be good for Liverpool. And yeah, you just don't know. Maybe we end up even competing with them in that final. Who knows? I mean, if that happens, biggest Europa League final of all time. But anyways, I'm gonna cut it off there with the football stuff, and we're gonna move on to our last topic. And my prayers have been answered. Finally, guys, you have no idea. You have no freaking idea how long I've waited for this crap. We finally got Spider-Man 2 footage. No, and you know what? We didn't get Spider-Man 2 footage, not just like a trailer. We got freaking 12, 15 minutes of gameplay. It looks insane. Oh my goodness. Finally. Listen. When I tell you guys that nothing else matters but this game to me, I'm dead serious. When it comes to this realm of entertainment, of movie, TVs, nothing else matters. The only thing that I care about right now is Spider-Man 2 and getting my hands on it and playing it as soon as possible. Now, couple of things. I do not want Pete to be Venom. I do not want that. No. I mean, look, I like Miles Morales, but we've had Spider-Man's story, we've had Peter Parker's story, we've had Miles Morales' story. I think just straight after coming from that Miles, I'm replaying Miles Morales. Okay, I think just as we're going into the sequel, I still think Peter should be the main Spider-Man, right? And it doesn't mean that you give him 70% of the missions and 30% of the missions to Miles, but no, balance them out. But Peter needs to be the focal point of the game, and he shouldn't be the villain. If you want to swerve us and do that at the middle of the game, I'd be all for that. But at the end of the game, no, I'm not. No, I'm sorry. That's my only worry is that they are going to make Pete the villain, and I do not want that. Absolutely not. The way I see it, Insomniac should be building their MGU, the Marvel Gaming Universe, because I don't trust EA with freaking Iron Man or Black Panther. So I think Insomniac should be building their universe, and Peter Parker or Spider-Man should be the Iron Man of that. That's the way that I see it. I would say though, Sony, PlayStation, if you're listening, if you are going to do that, get your other parties involved as well. Naughty Dogs, Santa Monica Studios, get Bungie now apparently. Get everybody involved and let's do this. Let's really do this. I just want to play it now, man. Like the whole reason I got my PS5 was I saw the announcement trailer for Spider-Man 2. And when it said it's exclusively on PlayStation 5, I said, absolutely not on my watch. I'm getting that crap. And yeah, just the fact that we're here, I am so freaking excited. I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait. I saw a lot of people were negative on the showcase itself. Look, I think for... Okay, I could understand if you are in the if you are an avid gamer, I wouldn't consider myself an avid gamer, but if you are a part of that scene, I could maybe see you not really getting much excitement out of it. For an example, the VR stuff, I'm not a fan. I'm never ever gonna be a fan of VR stuff. But what like there were certain things that I liked. Assassin's Creed Mirage looks decent. It looks like something I might get my hands on. And then yeah, I came for Spider-Man. Well, that's gonna get taken out of context. I I I watched the whole showcase for Spider-Man. I wanted Spider-Man content, and let me tell you, when Jimmy freaking said that's the last before we approach the last game, and he's freaking what's Project X or Project Q, whatever that thing is, and they panned over to the beginning of the trailer where it's just some random guy in the woods. I lost it. I wish I had filmed that crap. I blew a gasket. I said they're freaking bottling it. They're not gonna release the game this year. There's gonna be a statement that they aren't doing that crap anymore. And then like I saw Craven, and I asked, is that Craven? And then when they showed up the tablet and I saw Black Cat, I said, freaking let's go. Finally, I kid you not. You know what? I've played Spider-Man PS4 about 5 times. I've revisited it every year, like at least every 2 times a year. And every time I play that game, there are certain things that there's new information that I get. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this. I don't remember this. And this is all just because like I'm craving Spider-Man content. Oh well, Insomniac Spider-Man content. And again, I mean, I'm going around in circles. But you know what? Have you seen that video of Theo Von where he speaks about his crush, Katie? Where he says everybody called her fat Katie. I call her just Katie. What makes that beautiful is that he's speaking he's expressing himself in the only way that he would, right? So that's what makes that beautiful. That's what tugs on a lot of people's strings, is that this is Theo Von, and we know we know what comes out of his mouth. And he didn't all of a sudden freaking turn into Shakespeare when he spoke about his infatuation for this woman. He said it the way he would, and that's what made it beautiful. So leave me be, okay? If I go around in circles, I'm sorry, but I'm speaking from the heart. Again, nothing else matters. I'm so ready for this game to ruin a whole bunch of relationships for me, like God of War did. I just need a release date. As soon as I pre-order prices out, as soon as the pre-order is available, I'm securing that thing as soon as possible, and I'm getting my hands on it ASAP. Yeah. Anyways, I think I've spoken more than enough now. What time are we on now? Oh yeah. Okay. We have clocked about an hour. All right, guys. Let me know how this went. Me being solo today. Hopefully next week, Altaf is here again, and maybe we'll revisit some of these topics that were spoken about today. And maybe we'll get his perspective. If not, it will be me again. And only get better if you keep on doing it. Oh, what did the guy from BoJack Horseman say? It gets easier the more you do it. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like, share, and subscribe if this is what you like to do. Let me know if you would prefer an audio version on Spotify, because that is something we could absolutely arrange and organize and get out there. Again, my social medias will be in the description. Alta's social medias, even though he's not here, will be in the description as well. And yeah, check out my bands. That will be in my bio on my Instagram, which will be in the description. Check out my YouTube channel, which will be in the description as well. There's something that I'm working on. I am still working on it. I'm very excited. Very excited about it. And can't wait to share that with you guys. It's hopefully a new series that I would be launching or would be releasing at least once a month. So yeah, stay tuned to my channel. And yeah, if you like the space if you need a space for rehearsal, recording, if you need live sound, RTF will be in the description. With all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I am out. Mwah.